Hello gamers and welcome back to another video. Today I want to show you something, a little project that I've been working on for quite some time. If you followed me on Twitter or Facebook, you'll know that back in April I started a mini NES based arcade cabinet for my kids. It took me longer than expected, but I had a few days off this week so I was able to finish it up. So basically I built this cabinet, again for my children, out of masonite, and plywood, and basically the idea is a replica arcade cabinet that runs off of the NES and then uses the Advantage controllers as the arcade joysticks essentially. So here's what the finished product looks like. Now I'm not here saying that this is like the most amazing cabinet ever. Also I'm fully aware that I could have built this with a RetroPie. Got a lot more games in here, but that wasn't the point. It was just kind of to do something with some extra NES stuff that I had. And it's a system that I love, and I wanted my kids to experience it, especially with like an arcade cabinet setup, since arcade cabs are just kind of non-existent anymore. So here's what it looks like. Essentially, I did a light-up marquee. This is just a cross-section of an NES Remix poster. I cut it and put it between two sheets of plexiglass to create the marquee, and then I put LED lights back behind it so well light up. I used some reflective tape to amp up the brightness. Also, coming down, just a tube television. Now, one thing I would make sure you do with this build, so you want to make sure with an old CRT, if you're going to do this, I'd recommend getting one that when you power it off or unplug it, it will reset back to the last input it was on and turn back on by itself. That way you're not having to constantly turn it on separately. So basically with this one, that's what happens. If I cut power to this arcade cabinet, the TV goes off, but then when I power it back on, it immediately turns right back on to the input I had it left on, which is exactly what you need for a build like that. I built this so it all comes apart easily too, in case you need to get to any parts. This piece here and then the bottom piece essentially just pull right out. They're just kind of held in there by gravity, and just the fit from the side of the arcade cabinet. That way if I ever need to adjust anything, take out controllers, I can do that. Now the Advantage controllers, I used 3M Velcro, those strips, to put them in place there so they're more sturdy. You can see they'll not move around, and then they can pop out. What I did is I kind of countersunk them about 3/4 of an inch with this wood here, as I built the controller base for this. So they sit in there real snug and nice, and then it's going to be a little tough to see, but what I did is I cut grooves in it, and this is to kind of match the grooving that you'd see on the NES on the top of it, the original model. I thought that was kind of a nice touch. Turned out pretty good. And then coming down, we've got the base of the cabinet, which I could have just left plain. It would have been easy enough to do, but I felt like I really wanted a coin door just to add, that little extra pop. I painted some crudely drawn 25-cent little signs on the door, and then it also doubles as a way for me to change the cartridge if I choose. I have this held in by magnets, and then you can see I'm running on Retro Duo. I'd gotten it in a lot I picked up a long time ago, and it works really well. And I run the cords down through the bottom and the back, and then I'm running a multi-cart right now, 150 in 1. Obviously this hole here I cut out kind of rough, but it didn't really matter because it's just an access port and a way to just get at stuff if I need to. And with the 150 in 1, essentially it's got all the greatest games you'd want. It's got all the Marios, all the Castlevanias, Mega Man, that sort of stuff. And then the artwork on the sides I did separately on each. And these are just like some stickers that I picked up at a Menards of all places. They were selling them like 12 bucks in a pack. So I applied those, made a little scene on both sides. And then you're probably wondering how you turn this thing on. Well, what I did was I got an extension cord. They make extension cords that run out to like a floor switch, like a button. So essentially, you'll see that I've got this little piece in the cord here. It's just a button. So you just step on it, it lights up, and it powers everything in the cabinet. You'll see it's going to kind of glare, but marquee lights up, TV turns on, NES turns on, and you get this awesome startup screen for this goofy multi-cart. And then I can scroll through the games here. So you can see it's got a good selection of games for the kids. The ones that they've been playing the most actually has been surprising to me, that they really like the original Mario Brothers, the arcade game. So that's kind of been what they've been playing. And this is just kind of a quick overview of my cabinet. Basically, a few years ago, before I was even making YouTube videos, I saw somebody do something similar for their kid, and I thought, wow, that's a really cool idea. So then, when I started collecting and get all these extra doubles and things, I thought, you know what, I want to do this for my kids too, and I'm really happy with how it turned out. And maybe I'll inspire some of you guys to do the same thing, but just a neat little project that I was happy to finally get completed, and my kids have been having a blast with it. So as always, thank you for watching, and I will talk to you next time.
Oh my God! Dad, I'm right here! Ah! Ah! Riders go! Riders go! Riders go! Riders go! Riders go! Let's go! Let's go! Let's go!